Now that we've told you guys a little bit about us as a couple, we wanted to touch up on some key points that really helped us maintain a strong relationship.
Yes. First one I would say is trust.
Yep.
Yes. Trust is such a big thing. Like, if that's not there in a relationship, then
it's not a relationship.
It's not a relationship. And we had these like 3 promises that we made to each other when we first started our relationship, and that was to be trustworthy, honest, and loyal.
Honesty and trustworthiness kind of go hand in hand.
Right.
But we kind of look at them like trustworthiness being that you're able to hold secrets, you're able to like keep everything between you guys, the personal stuff personal and private.
Yeah.
And the honesty is that you're willing to express how you feel, you're willing to stay honest and stay true and to never lie.
Right, because you could be a very trustworthy partner but be very deceitful behind their back. Like, you have to have them both, because if you're just trustworthy but really you're like building up your relationship on lies, then you're gonna lose that trust eventually. It's gonna come out. And if you're very honest of a person but you're not trustworthy because you do things behind their back and stuff and tell them afterwards, like, you're not gonna help your relationship at all. So you have to have that great balance between the two, and they're really important. If you don't have one, then the other one's gonna fall, and you can't build a foundation without it. And obviously those two go along with loyalty, because like I said, you can't be a trustworthy partner but you're deceitful, and you can't be out behind your partner's back doing things that are unfaithful or that they would not appreciate. It's just wrong, and there's no point in getting into a relationship, especially a monogamous relationship, if you're not ready for that commitment and you're not going to be true to yourself and your partner.
The next thing is communication. You always want to make sure you guys are constantly communicating with each other to know how one feels.
Because like we were talking about before, disagreements happen and you have to be able to communicate with each other. If you keep it to yourself, it's gonna come out eventually. You're gonna explode on them, and that's way worse than coming to them calmly and being like, hey, I didn't appreciate this, or hey, I don't agree with you on this, but maybe we could talk about it. Like, obviously you're not gonna say it that scripted, but you can come to them in a calmer way. That's gonna save your relationship. Coming to somebody, blowing up on them all the time, you're gonna come across as somebody that's either like unappreciative or complains too much or whatever, and your relationship's gonna crumble. And always communicating with each other helps keep everything in the know, and you and your partner will never have anything hidden. Nobody can try to tell you lies behind their back and make you feel some type of way about them, because you know the truth. So
you won't find anything out because everything's out there already.
If you do a mistake, now I'm not saying go cheat or something and try telling your partner about it, like they're gonna be okay with it, but if you make a mistake with something, or something happened, or just anything, like even if it's a good thing, something positive that happened in your day, whatever, communicate with them. Let your partner know. Talk about your day in the afternoon after work or school, and just things like that. It's healthy to always have that honest communication. If you guys can't talk to each other, then that's something missing, because like personally, Danny's my best friend. I can talk to him about everything, and it's always been like that. I always felt
really
like I could
open
tell
with
him
each other.
Everything, exactly.
We're literally like best friends. I mean, we laugh, we joke around a lot.
Yeah, like
we act goofy with
we can be
ourselves.
What would be embarrassing to other people, we can do in front of each other, with no problem. Nothing.
Not even a second thought.
Exactly, and that's where you want to get. Like, you want to get to that point with that person where you communicate with them so much, you've told them everything, that you are comfortable. You don't feel like there's something you need to hide from them because everything's in the open. Along with that though, like we said, communicate with your partner. That does not mean communicate with the world. So yes, if you're going through problems and you really need a family member's advice or your really close friend's advice because you don't have anybody else, you can do that, but that doesn't mean bring everything to them. If it's something little that you guys can deal with on your own, you don't need to bring it up to other people, and you don't need to bring it up to a bunch of people regardless. Like, talk to people you trust if you need to, but
keep your relationship private though.
Yeah,
you don't want to have
the main person you need to
there.
talk to is your significant other.
And if you're unable to communicate with them and you feel like you need to let someone know and open up to someone about that, then you can look for someone who you really trust to talk to them. So we had to get Era. She just woke up. She was asleep while we were recording, but now she's awake, so she'll be joining us in the last few minutes of this video. Anyways, another thing was to always make sure your significant other and yourself are always supporting each other's dreams.
Oh, yes. Ambition. Like, it's good to have that on your own, but to be able to give that support to your significant other and have that support makes all the difference. Like, it benefits you so much because then you have higher self-esteem in yourself, you're more positive about your goals and dreams,
and you have someone to be right behind you.
Yeah, and you know that they will be right behind you because not everybody will agree with your ambitions and goals, and if your significant other doesn't, then they're probably not the one for you. She was looking into my soul.
But yeah, you always want to make sure you guys are there for each other to support each other's dreams and to be that extra support that you guys need. It's always good to make sure you guys are always wanting the best for each other and always looking out for each other in that way.
Yeah.
Just always trying to better each other. You know?
Exactly.
You don't want to pull anyone down,
together.
and you you should always grow. You should always want to and always try your best to try to grow with one another.
If you're going into years of being in a relationship and you guys have made no progress to benefit each other in any type of way, then they're probably not the one again. Because I feel like it just comes naturally to be growing together and to benefit each other.
If you really love someone, you're going to want to see nothing but good happen to them. You want to be there for them. You want to make sure you're supportive of everything they dream of.
And don't be a spiteful or bitter person. If your significant other is moving up in their career or whatever faster than you are, that doesn't mean that you're any less than of a person or they're not motivating you enough. It just means that you guys are moving in different paces. But you should never be like vengeful of things and stuff like that. Like if they do ever make a mistake, you shouldn't feel the need to go behind their back and do the same thing or whatever, because that's not going to help you at all.
Another thing is always make sure you guys are fair and equal. And
yes.
What I mean by that is, for one, you always want to put yourself in the other person's shoes. And the second thing I mean by that is just making sure you guys always see each other as equals and you don't see yourself or see them as better than you or anything like that.
Yeah, that's kind of what I was trying to touch upon a little bit with the whole like them moving up faster than you or vice versa. Like, always see each other as equals, and you're a team. When you get into a relationship, you're a team. So like if you do have a disagreement and stuff, your end goal shouldn't be, oh, I want to win the argument or I want to win whatever we're talking about, you know what I mean? Or, oh, they did this wrong. Just own up to your mistakes, apologize, and move on from it, and feel like, okay, we resolved this together, we're both okay now. Not just, oh, I feel good, so that's fine, we could leave it at that.
Oh, bless you.
Oh, she's sick.
Yeah, Era's sick, by the way.
But yeah, that was like the biggest things that I had to say.
It's okay.
It's okay. Another thing that's really important to have is confidence within yourself, because I'll own up to the fact that I wasn't as confident as I am now when we first started dating, and it had nothing to do with him. It just had to do a lot with myself. And so building on that and having his support, of course, it really helped better our relationship because it strengthened trust and it strengthened the way you see yourself as a partner, because that's also a very big thing. Your partner may see you completely different than how you see yourself, and that will impact your relationship if it's negative. And if it's positive, that's not saying be overly cocky, because that's not going to make them feel attracted to you. But just having that confidence in yourself and knowing that, hey, I'm as good as I can be, I can keep growing and bettering myself, and you don't need to be like everybody else. It's a very important thing to have in a relationship or without a relationship, so always keep that in mind as a partner.
As a couple, I can honestly say that we really have grown, and like, she's really confident now, like I'm really confident, like we're confident in each other, like we're really strong.
Up, to be honest, like we've grown up. Like, there's always, I feel like, those moments as a teenager and stuff that you feel a little bit more self-conscious about yourself, because it's a point in time where there's so much change happening around you and within yourself.
Yep, there you go. She's farting on me.
But for that interruption, it's just it happens, but grow up. Like, eventually you're gonna realize that, like, you're a boss person by yourself and with somebody. Like, your partner should never make you who you are. You should always have that confidence and drive as an individual, because that's what's going to make you guys be compatible for each other. Because at the end of the day, it's like that saying, you have to love yourself before anybody else can love you. And it's the truth.
You should never let anyone else change you, who you are. And you should never try to change someone else. And just know that if you're ever trying to change someone, that's never a good way to start off your relationship, hoping to be able to change someone.
Because at the end of the day, even if they do like have a couple of things that they need to work on or adjust, you could have that in your head, but you should know that you can accept them if they do not do that. So, like, for example, if you don't like people that smoke whatsoever, but you're dating somebody that smokes, you may want them to, we don't smoke. I'm just giving this as an example. You may want them to change that about themselves, but you have to be able to accept the fact that they might not want to change that, because that's just how it is. Sometimes you can't change everything about a person that you don't agree with, and you can't morph somebody into the perfect person for you.
You can't try to compromise with yourself to get into this relationship with someone in hopes that you'll one day change them.
Yeah.
I feel we hit a good amount of topics.
Yeah.
We kind of just winged it.
That's pretty much every key point. That's the most important stuff anyways. If we forgot something, it'll probably be mentioned in a future discussion. So make sure you like this video, comment down below, and subscribe to become a part of the Davis clan, and hit the bell so you'll be notified every time I make a new video on this channel, including discussions. Yes, we are married at 19. We have a baby. We went through a lot of things that adults don't go through until farther into their life, and so we feel like we can give our generation tips on this. That doesn't mean be just like us, but
and it doesn't mean we see ourselves as better than anyone.
At the point in our lives where we have a stable relationship and we know what works for us, and so
we just want to help
put that
you guys
out there. Yeah, to help, because
to find what works for you.
Sometimes it could be very confusing and you could feel quite lost in finding yourself and dating and being in a committed relationship long term and just different things. And we just want to help with that and really help guide you guys in the right direction. So stay tuned for more discussions, and Era's coming to say bye. And we'll see you guys in the next one. Till next time.